Got it.
Hello and welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Liz.
And this is our new way of starting just for this one and only episode. Hey, Liz.
They say to keep a marriage nice and fresh, you should do things differently. So why not do it on the podcast?
Exactly. Yeah. We moved to New Zealand, which is a huge thing to do. So this is just another huge thing to do. So you're going to hear me saying hello from the start.
What, every time?
No, I don't think so.
So what's this podcast about then, Brian?
We were out in the garden talking about things. And so we thought we'll get the camera out, get the microphones out and just talk about what's been going on in the last couple of weeks here in New Zealand. Yeah, we've had all sorts of festivals going on and things like that. So you get to talk to local people when you go into town and you just think, you get their side of things and gists of this or that. And we even talk a little bit about the supermarket as well, don't we, Liz?
We do, It's not easy when you're wanting to move to New Zealand to find the real nitty-gritty real stuff. Unless you know people here, you've got friends or family and you can ask them to tell you. We want to fill that gap for you. That is what we're here for. And this week we do exactly that. We have shared over on our YouTube channel. We've got a YouTube channel, in case you didn't know, called It's a Drama. And we recorded this video sitting out in our back garden. It was a beautiful blue day. The mountain was behind us. The wind was just gentle and warm. And we just had such a good laugh making this video and this podcast. And that's why we've brought it over to the
NZ Ahead and want to share it with you.
Yes.
Yeah. And don't forget, if you're thinking of moving to New Zealand, you want to be part of our community, then head on over to nzahead.com/free. Take the 5-day video guide and you'll eventually find out how to come in or join this wonderful community.
Yes. You are doing such a good job, Brian.
Well, I've been editing all day and it's just hard sometimes just to get your head around things and you're making me do it all. Thanks.
Yes. Yeah, well, sometimes it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget as well, if you haven't yet left a review on Spotify or on Apple or anywhere that you're listening.
Any podcasting app or even YouTube.
Yeah, we would really, really appreciate it if you did that for us. If you left us a review and if you shared the episode with someone else who loves New Zealand. So,
yeah, let's get on with the show.
Okay, Brian. So. Yes, you're a very, very good host. Well done.
Yes,
good boy.
Thank you. Thank you.
It'll be me again next week now. Okay.
Yeah. Let's get on with it.
Got it.
Welcome to the NZ Ahead podcast. Everything you need to know about moving to and living in New Zealand.
There's a whole world here.
So nice to be with you again.
We call it Aotearoa around here, bro.
You'll be right.
We are your hosts, Liz and Brian.
Amazing New Zealand in the southern seas.
See, that's where I belong. That's home.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And we're back this week to talk about life in New Zealand. We used to do these podcasts quite often where we just have a catch up about what life is actually like living in New Zealand. We're not talking about what's on the news and what's happening with the politics and what's happening with the economy and all that sort of stuff. We're talking about what life is actually going on here in New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's not to disregard those things, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
But the media's a bit weird.
Yeah. Well, and you like this. We know you like it because you always say, oh, I love it when you do those episodes. It just feels like we've had a catch up in your back garden with Liz and Brian. And what more of a gorgeous day to bring you a slice of New Zealand life than what we're experiencing today.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So how have you been? We hope you have been well. We hope you've been happy. We're going to start the show with a story about, I couldn't believe this actually, Bri.
Why?
I couldn't believe it because, well, this is the thing, isn't it? Again, I don't want to get into anything negative,
right,
but it's very easy to believe that everyone in New Zealand is sitting here miserable as sin, just backbiting, arguing, moaning. I mean, obviously we're moaning, but like normal people moaning.
Leave that to the Poms.
Yeah, just leave that to us. We do that very well. And I just experienced something yesterday and I was laughing about this for about...
You were laughing?
Yes.
Just to yourself?
Well, no, to you, in the car, driving along to myself.
Like this, yeah,
driving along. Laughing to myself about it because it just had me, it tickled me. So here's the story.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm sitting here ready, waiting and listening.
You got your tea and everything?
Yeah, my tea's there.
Yeah, you settled, ready for the story?
I am ready.
So I went into town and I went into this cafe. I'm not going to say which cafe it is because I don't know. I don't know if this lady would want me saying what I'm just about to say, but I'm going to tell you anyway, and I won't give any names and I won't name the cafe. So
Why, is it a bad thing or is
it's
it?
not a bad thing, but it's kind of cheeky. And I
Right.
just thought, oh, I just loved it. Isn't it brilliant when people are just themselves with you?
I know.
You know, and they
Yeah.
don't put on any airs and graces,
No.
and they don't.
Say it as it is.
do.
Well, that's the best way, isn't it? That's when you know where you are.
So anyway, yeah, so I went to the cafe and she goes, so we've got this big festival happening next weekend in New Plymouth called WOMAD.
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
World
World-
of Music and Dance.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Have you
Good
ever-
old Peter Gabriel, I think he started it, didn't he?
Did he?
Yes, I think it was, yeah.
What, in New Plymouth?
Not in New Plymouth, in England.
Oh.
Yeah, Peter Gabriel.
I thought it was a
Yeah,
Kiwi
we used to
thing.
just live over the road from Peter Gabriel at one time.
I thought it
Over
was
the
a Kiwi.
train tracks.
All right, Bri. I thought it was a Kiwi thing. WOMAD.
No,
Is it not?
no, World of Music and Dance.
Oh, I've been telling everyone like we've got this festival and we
we're
started
the only
it.
ones in the world.
Yeah, we only started it. So are we not?
I'm pretty sure it's around the world. I think it's in Africa. I think it's in Australia, England, or the UK. I'm not 100% sure because I've not really looked into it and I've never been.
What did you just say before you said I've never been?
I think I'm not that sure about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just note that.
Wind's picking up.
So there's this big festival and it happens every year in New Plymouth, in Taranaki, and it is hosted in Pukekura Park, which is just the most idyllic location for any festival.
Yes, it is.
It's just
especially the bowl area. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's
isn't it?
beautiful.
Bowl of
Absolutely
Brooklyn.
beautiful. I
Yep.
feel really privileged actually that WOMAD has chosen, Peter Gabriel has chosen New Plymouth
Yes.
over the rest
Cheers, Tate.
of the world to host his
Yeah, we used to climb
festival.
Salisbury Hill.
So before I tell my story, why have you never been to WOMAD? And what is WOMAD?
Why I've never been? Because I can't be bothered.
Oh, that's a bit negative.
Yeah.
That's a bit not supportive, isn't
There you
it?
go.
Supportive of your own community.
Yes.
You can't be bothered. Why?
Just lots of people going around singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Not up my street.
What's wrong with that?
Well, just it's nothing wrong with it.
No.
But I'm just saying I don't particularly enjoy it. And a lot of people down the cafe, just like, oh, we're going to WOMAD, and it's like, all right.
I feel a bit out of it, do you, when I say I'm not going? I feel like... I
Yeah,
don't know,
you
I
feel like
a bit
you're letting
old,
the place
Brian.
down.
Well, I feel a bit old because I tell
Yeah.
you what it is.
What?
It's like Glastonbury Festival, but in New Plymouth, isn't it?
yeah.
It's like all the cool people go there. Like people who go
Are
to
they cool?
Yes.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Why?
Because they wear like Hessian
Bangles.
bracelets. They're vegetarian. You know, they're just...
Yes.
I don't know. They're just... I don't know. They're just like... Dreadlocks. Some of them have got
Yeah.
dreadlocks.
What's it called?
They
about
wear
that?
those pants, you know, that
Is it-
pulled right down on their hips. Like,
Yeah, big baggy balloons.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are just, it's a cool festival and we don't belong there.
My t-shirt's just not bright enough. Yeah.
So every year we have to endure the question, are you going to WOMAD this year? And we always lie and go, oh no, we're going away this weekend.
Yeah.
When really, it's just that we're not cool enough.
But it's probably true. Yeah.
I think it is true.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I don't want to get into it here, Bright, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I don't think you're embracing your, like,
My inner self.
yeah, your inner feminine.
What is it when they do that
dancey-
dance? Is it artistic or something dance?
Yes, it is,
is that what it
actually.
is? Where you all like writhe around together? Or yeah, is that the right word?
It's called, is it called aesthetic dance? Where
yes,
you.
I think it is,
So
isn't it?
I've always loved to. You know when people say, "What do you want to do?" but you're scared to do it.
Yeah.
That is that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's you that's making me feel scared to do it
I
because
know.
of your negative attitude.
Yes. There you go.
But I think if you went to WOMAD and just went like, yeah, man, the music, my lawnmower,
it.
man, I'm
That's
not
it.
worried
Don't-
about it.
Don't have a wash or a shower for a week
Great.
and just like, you know, we can all odour together.
Anyway, your uptightness aside,
Yes.
I went into the cafe and the lady, as they always do every year, I think what it is actually, they see me and they think, wow, she's cool.
Yes,
She's cool.
there
She's
you
the
go.
sort of person that would
You're
go
a
to
WOMADite.
Yeah, you're a
Yes.
WOMAD person. Anyway, she said, are you going to WOMAD? And I said, no, I was just about to make up my lie about why I wasn't going. Like, you know, and I said, no. She went, no, me neither. And I thought, oh, phew, someone normal. And I said, no. She went, it's too expensive. She said, I can't afford it. She said, I've been 3 years on a row. She said, and that's enough for me. And this lady was like, I don't know, same age, well, maybe a bit older than me, maybe
Right.
your age, like in her 60s.
What old?
And I just said, oh, you know, when you just know that someone's got a good story in them, because she just wanted to talk. She's like, like making her coffee like this, talking to me over the counter. She said, yeah, I've been 3 years. She said, and I'm not going again this year. It's too expensive, which it is. It's pricey.
I know.
It's not cheap.
It's up in the hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's about...
Is there a 3-day pass or something like
Yeah.
that? Something like that, isn't it? I
And
think
it
Friday,
is
Saturday,
worth
Sunday.
it. It is worth it because
Is
you
it?
go... Yes, it is.
Okay.
Because you go and you support local talent and you embrace the music and the art and the dance.
Yeah.
And
The smoke.
you know... Anyway, so she said, no, I'm not going, it's too expensive. And I went, oh, how much? And knowing full well that it, and I went, oh, how much is it a ticket actually? And she said, oh, you know, it's right up there. She said, but to be honest, she said, it's not the ticket price that's a problem. She said, because she said, it's when you get in there, the price of the food and the drink is expensive. And I said, oh, really? And she went, yeah. She said, she goes, what we do, like, I just couldn't believe it. She goes, what we did last year, she said, we took a loaf of bread and we hollowed it out in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, she bought a cob, like a cob loaf.
Yeah.
And she put a bottle of wine in it.
No.
And she stuffed
That's
all
the Kiwi way.
She stuffed all the bread back in.
Yeah.
But she told me as if it was just like the most normal thing in the world. Like, this is what you would do. And I'm thinking,
That's a big loaf.
that's a bloody good idea.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah, she said it was a piece of bread. And then, do you know what she said then? She said, and I went, oh, that's a fantastic idea. And she said, I've got better ideas than that. She said, my friend, she said, what she does, she said, she takes a chili bin. She said she gets like 100 ice cubes made of white wine. And she fills her chili bin.
Well, it was like weeks filling the little tray up with wine. Yeah.
And she goes in with her 100 ice cubes of white wine and a bottle of water that I just thought,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
what
a great
a
idea.
classic story
Yeah.
that is.
That's good, isn't it?
How brilliant is
Be a bit
that?
yellow though, wouldn't it, eh?
So what I was thinking, you know, like Tess is always on about us drinking too much.
Yeah.
Why don't we just freeze
Freeze
our wine? Yeah.
Yeah, just drink water with wine.
We could. We
Yeah,
could just,
there
oh,
you
just
go.
have a glass of water. We'll have some ice in it. You know.
Don't use that ice, all right?
We're getting a hard time at the moment from
we
our family about, you know, we've been judged, aren't we? But there's nothing
Well,
worse.
Sunny doesn't, but
No.
Tess
She's
tends to.
teetotal, and
Yes.
you know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh God.
But she did
guilty.
want a margarita the other night because she
I
wasn't
know.
working the next day because she has to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be a barista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was our story, and the lady. I doubt you're watching this video, but you, if you are, then you know who you are. You bloody made my day. You really did, because I just thought. I loved her big smile and her cheekiness, and her like, oh yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah.
I just get the ice cubes and put them in the chili bin. You know,
That's a good idea, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is.
You know, if you could disassemble a chili bin, there's quite a skin around the outside, and there's always a little drain plug or something on them, and you could just fill the outside with wine and have it on wheels, you know, and take all the insulation out of it. At least you've
Yeah.
got some white. You could get your red wine in there, then, couldn't you?
So, do you know what? We're joking about WOMAD. It's a fantastic festival. Go support New Plymouth, please. Don't
Yes.
just ignore us.
I
We're
know.
just two
We're having a
saddos
bit of fun.
who live up on the hill and never go anywhere or do
Yeah.
anything. So
We can
just
hear
ignore
it from
us.
here. It's over that way
Yeah.
somewhere. It's just like the booming at night.
Yeah. Right. What
Yeah.
was your story that you wanted to tell about your lawnmower?
Well, the lawnmower went pop, and we'd started getting a guy up the road to cut the lawns, and he was charging about $80, and I'm like, wow, this is good because it takes about 3 hours, and I'm thinking it's good. That's good value, like, you know. And then, you know, the last time he was here, he said, oh, I'm sweating. It was a hot day, and he said, oh, I'm going to have to put the price up a little bit. It's taking me too long, and I'm like, oh, all right.
Slave
then.
labour.
It was slave labor a little bit. Well, it wasn't, but you know, it was working out about $30 an hour, which is a bit cheap, I think, for
cutting
getting
your
the
lawns.
Yeah. Just that I've hurt my knees lately, and you know, unable to really do it. And the lawnmower's gone pop, so it was like, oh, do I have to buy a new lawnmower? It is a self-propelled one. It's not a sit-on because it's too all over the place, isn't it? The land.
I'd love one of those sit-on lawnmowers.
But we did have one at one time. I used to call
We
it.
kept falling off
I used to
it.
call it Christine because it like when you get up, the seat thing was supposed to turn it off, but it would keep running, start running away on you.
Oh, Christine, Stephen King's Christine.
Yeah. I used to call it Christine. I remember being down in the paddocks and it started to rear up, and I'm like, I couldn't stop it. You know, just couldn't stop it, and it was just like it ended up going backwards down the hill with the blades flying all over the place.
Shouldn't
And I'm
have.
like, I know. Yeah, but that's how scary it was.
Yeah.
And I just thought, that's it. I've given up with
Do you
this.
know what you get up to, Brian, when you're on your own in these paddocks? You keep
Yeah.
telling me all these stories about you falling out the apple tree. Now you're telling me the story about you falling off your lawnmower.
Yeah, well, that's how I did my knee, was falling out the apple tree. That's what twisted it.
Okay,
you know?
so you've twisted your knee, and then I know I didn't want to buy a new lawnmower.
No, I didn't want to buy a new.
Sorry, you're telling the story about the man. Yeah, go on. And what happened?
Yeah, so Jen's up the road. I said, "Oh, can you come and cut the lawns tomorrow?" And he went, "Oh, mate," came off the bike.
Oh,
Came off the motorbike. And I'm like, shit. And he said, I've had to have a reconstructive surgery. I'm in a sling for the next 6 weeks. And I'm like, oh, well, that's that out the window then, isn't it? You might even never go back to doing the lawns, like, you know. So it's like, right, we have
What
to
do we do?
bite the bullet and got to buy a new lawnmower. So straight away you go online and you go to the big companies in Auckland and stuff like that, like Trade Tested and people like that.
try and get a deal.
Try and get a good deal and see if there's a good sale on or whatever it is. And I wanted a self-propelled one, and they had some Hyundai ones in there, but not in stock. And then, oh yeah, if you phone them up, yeah, but they'll be in the next couple of weeks. And it's like, well, I really need it now because the lawn's growing at a great rate of knots. And so you look around, and then there it is, Mike's Chainsaws, New Plymouth. And you're like, whoa. They're in Bell Block. They're just up down the road, and a great deal, a better price than the big boys up in Auckland. Even though Mike's Chainsaws are, you know, it's a family-run business apparently, but they're here in New Plymouth in stock. And I'm like, wow. So I order it online to go and click and collect.
Oh,
And you turn up and, you know, expecting it to be in a box. I'd put all the seats down in the car and everything, like, you know, and the guy goes, oh, mate, he said, I've assembled it all for you. He said, I've filled it up with oil. He said, you've got a full tank of gas.
really?
Yeah. He said, pulled it there. It's all working for you.
I didn't know
all
you put
brand new.
petrol in it.
Yeah, and you know, you just think that's local service
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Because normally it would come in a box.
We love you, Mike.
You have to go and buy the oil. You have to go and, you know, obviously the petrol, but you've got to put all the bolts, and it probably takes you about an hour to go through the instructions, which you never do. You just think, oh, this goes here and that goes there. And then, you know, you bend the cable and it puts a kink in it so it doesn't work, like, you know. But you just think he's assembled it all and everything. And
So was it actually Mike the owner, or is that?
do you know, I haven't got a clue
No,
who it was.
okay.
It was just a guy.
Someone who
they used to have
works
a big shop with all, you know, things in it. Now it feels more like a warehouse now with a very small shop front at the front.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, but anyway,
Yeah,
Mike's
that's-
Chainsaws. They're probably they just say they're a family-run business here in New Plymouth, but apparently I think they've got stores all over.
But you know what? When you came out of there, he was just like, I can't
Buzzing.
believe it. You were buzzing.
Because I was thinking I've got to go home, and then by the time you unpack it all, then you've got a big box to get rid of, and you've got to
Yeah.
bolt it all together and sort it all out, and it's just wow.
And this comes
Buying
down.
local, I think,
was gonna
is
say,
just even if it might cost me another $100, but you just think, wow, it was
did it?
so worth it. No, I thought it was a really good. I couldn't believe because it was a Mazport that I'd bought, and I was expecting it was going to be around the 2000s, like, you know, and you just like, wow, it was so good.
How much was it?
It was including GST 1300.
Right.
Yeah,
But how long did our old lawnmower last us?
they last about 8 years.
Yeah, 8
We got it
years.
just before we went around the world in 2017. I
yeah.
bought it, and it was pretty new. But the guy, obviously, when someone's renting your place and they're cutting the lawns, they cut it when it's wet. Don't bother clearing it out, so it got a few holes in it. Many rusted. The engine still works, but the gearbox crapped out on it.
Don't say that.
What?
Crapped out. That's not very nice saying.
Well, the Kiwis would normally say it shit itself. So I didn't think I'd say that, like, you know.
Brian.
What? But that's what they say. Oh, it shit itself.
All right.
All right.
Now I'm going
It's
to have to put the
broken.
thing on the video that says there's swearing involved.
This is grown-up people that watch this.
I know,
Sorry,
but-
kiddie winkies.
Yeah, but
I'm sure
anyway.
you've never heard that word before.
So I think it's just a testament to local businesses.
Yeah, support the locals.
It is. It
is.
really is.
We all
isn't
do
it?
online stuff, and it's $50 cheaper, but really, it's that guy that's done all that work for you. You know, and you say, "What about servicing?" Yeah, bring it back, and you know that you've got a 3-year warranty on that motor, you've got a 10-year warranty on the aluminium deck, and you're like, it doesn't get better, does
I
it?
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so pleased about that. I'm so happy. And thank you all at Mike's Chainsaws
In New Plymouth.
in New Plymouth for the
Yep.
service you've given us and, you know, the deal. And yeah, you made Brian's day.
It was.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
There is someone else that I want to give a big shout out to in New Plymouth. I want to tell you a story of what happened yesterday. But before we do that, we're going to have a word from our sponsors, i.e.
Us.
Yeah. So let's just sit back and just hear from Liz and Brian.
You are here because you love New Zealand, just like me and Brian. And me and Brian made it our reality of moving over here. We arrived in New Zealand in 2009 with 2 small children, and I tell you what, hardly any information to our name. We came over here with no resources, no contacts, we knew nothing. One night while we were sitting around the fire when we got to New Zealand, we said, wouldn't it be great if we made something for other people in the same situation as us that gave them everything they needed to know about moving to New Zealand? And that's just what we did. We started a community of people, of like-minded adventurers from all over the world who are making their dream of moving to New Zealand a reality. This community is made up of 400 beautiful souls, each one bringing their own story, their own needs, their own information to our community. And I just love it. I tell you, it's just the best community in the whole wide world. If you would like to be part of that community or get to know more about it, then you can take our free 5-day video guide that we offer. This is a video guide that Brian and I created, showing you some aspect of life in New Zealand every single day. There is nothing like this on the internet. You won't find it anywhere else. It's brilliant and it's unique and it's free. So sign up to those 5-day video guides, and on day 5, I'll give you more information about how you can join our beautiful New Zealand community. Sign up now by going to www.nzahead.com/free. That's www.nzahead.com/free. Get to day 5, see all about our community, and I hope to see you on the other side. Okay, let's get back to the show.
So last week, I want to tell you a story about what happened last week, because this is another thing where I just think, oh, I love this country. I just love this people and I love this country. So I'm going to come on here and say it. So last week, I went to the doctors to get some blood tests done. And while I was there, the nurse came out and said, Liz, you know that you're ready for, it's time for your smear test, your regular, your routine is the word I'm looking for, smear test. So for those of you who don't know, smear tests in New Zealand have changed now. It used to be that you went to see a nurse and you laid on the bed and they gave you a smear test. And smear tests check for cervical cancer, and they're very, very important to have. My grandma died of cervical cancer, so I'm just paranoid about it and I always want to be kept up, up to date with my tests and things like that. Anyway, I went in to see her and she said, oh, we've changed it's changed now since you were last here. Now it's you do it yourself. So they give you like this little swab, you go into the bathroom, you do it yourself and you just send it away and they check for it. But the difference is when the nurse used to do it, it used to be every 3 years and now they've pushed it to every 5 years. And I was sitting in the nurse's room with her. For one, she is the most wonderful, all nurses are, but she is just, you're just sitting there and you're thinking, God, you're making me feel so relaxed, so at ease. And she just said to me, look, the rules have changed in New Zealand. We see you now every 5 years for this. She said, but I want you to know that if you keep your eye on it, and this applies to all women out there, and guys, if you're watching, this applies to your wife, please pass this information on. It's super, super important that you keep your eye on any different, symptoms or pains or discharge. I know it's a lot of information. I know that's probably too much, but it's important. This is important. And if I can use this platform to say this, then please, this is what I want to say. It's so important to keep on top of those smear tests, to do those smear tests. And just look after yourself.
Get your bloods done.
Yeah. But this is just for our women out there. This is me standing up for us and saying that. And this nurse, she just said to me, look, 5 years is a long time to go from test to test. She said, anything can happen in those years. She said, if ever you feel any symptoms or see anything different or whatever, you feel and you want to come in and have me check you over, she said, you just get on the phone and you come in. And Brian, I just thought, how fantastic is that?
I know.
How amazing. So a huge shout out to our local doctor's surgery, our health space in New Plymouth. They're called Health Space. Yeah. All the staff, all the nurses, all the doctors in there, GPs, they are
the
just...
reception's fantastic people. Yeah.
I can't fault it. And I know that I've talked in the past about costs, about going, and it cost me $40 to have this smear test. I don't know if that's standard or whether that's just that practice. I don't know. I can't say. I've never been anywhere else. But I'll tell you what, it's the best $40 you can spend.
Yeah.
It's the best $40 you can spend.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, remind women out there, because I know that she was telling me, she said there's a lot of women who don't want to do this test and they just think, oh no, now they don't have to go and see a nurse. They just put it off, you know.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's all saving money along the line somewhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, is it saving lives? I don't really know. But yeah, it's up to you to go and do it, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
just do it. It's a super easy test and you've just got to keep on top of that. So I wanted to shout out for that and pleased to tell you to keep on top of it and keep your eye on it. And also just a big shout out again to our healthcare nurses. Our system here is just... I can't tell you how when I walked out of there yesterday. Oh, and that was the other thing. While I was there, she said, "You're due for your mammogram, like, you know, your breast cancer screening."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh," and she said, "I'll send a referral through." And the text came through on my phone, didn't it, when we were having the coffee?
Yeah.
And I phoned them up, the clinic down in New Plymouth, and I said, "When can I come?" She said, "You can come today if you want."
I know.
And I'm like, oh, I couldn't come today because I had like another appointment. But I said, "Can I come on Friday?" She went, "Yeah, just come on Friday. See you then." And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's brilliant.
It is.
It's brilliant. And I know that there's going to be people, oh, I've waited months, you know, I know years, I know that, but I'm just giving you my experience of this here. And it was nothing but positive. So thank you. Thank you to that beautiful nurse called Christine at Health Space. You made me feel so relaxed and so safe and so seen. And I just want you to know that you're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think they all are down there.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
100%. Yep.
Oh no, we had our last thing to say about, this is about being kind.
Yes, and I think it is about being kind, isn't it? Like, you know, pick and save. That's what it's about.
Save. We always pick on you, Pick and Save, but
that's because we shop there.
That's where we shop. Yeah.
So we're not picking, you know, obviously we're not picking on you.
No.
We're packing on you.
Yeah, we shop down at Pack and Save. Pack and Save is a big supermarket for those of you not in New Zealand, and they save money by not packing your bags for you.
Yeah.
It's a huge, I think it's just the best supermarket out there, to be honest. I love Pack and Save.
It probably is. They're normally very big Pack and Saves, aren't they? And it's all very warehousey type feel about it, isn't it? Yeah.
But I went in there the other day, and when you spend over, I think it's, again, we've talked about this before. Remember I told you I couldn't get rid of the voucher?
Yeah,
when
£3,000.
When you spend over $200, I think it is, it might be $300, but I think it's $200.
I think it's 200, isn't it? Yeah.
You get a free coffee. So when you pay your bill at the end, they give you a voucher and it's one free coffee. And sometimes, as I've told you in the past, I don't want a coffee and I go and either try and give it away, which I can't seem to do, or I put it on the notice board, or I just go and give it to the cafe and say, can you give this as a free one? But I wanted a coffee this time.
Right.
I just had my smear test and I was all,
you want a proper coffee.
I'm just like, I need something like coffee now. So I put all my shopping in the car, all the groceries, and I went back up to the cafe with my little ticket. And I'll tell you what's changed now though, Bri. It used to be like a normal size coffee. Yeah,
you'd get you can have like a flat white or anything, couldn't you? Yeah,
but now they've got a thing on the front of the desk and it says large, regular, free. And it's like the free size is about that big now.
Espresso size.
It's pretty small. That's not to say it's still not good value because obviously we're getting a coffee there. But anyway, I went up and the lady behind the counter she looked pretty stressed. And I thought, I'm just going to give her a minute and just let her get herself together, like, you know. And she came over and she said, what can I get you? And I handed my ticket. And she said, did you just want a flat white? And I said, can I just have an espresso with a little bit of milk? And she said, how much milk? I said, and I could see she was stressed. And I said, just whatever you think. I said, just give me whatever you think. She said, do you want milk or cream? And I said, whatever you think. But she just thought, come
Make
on,
your
you
mind
heart.
up.
Wait, make your mind up. But I just didn't want to stress her out. But actually thinking about that probably stressed her out more.
Sometimes it can because you've got to think then, haven't they?
I know. But she said, and I said, whatever you think. I said, just do it how you want. And she turned to me and she said, you're like me. She said, you're not fussy. And I said, you know what? I just want a coffee. And she went, yeah, you're like me. Anyway, so then we made that connection, which is always gorgeous.
Yeah, well, that's what you
It's
want, isn't
always
it?
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
and that's
good-
what I was
good to
trying to do. Yeah. And I said, you had a busy day? And she said, it's been hectic in here. I said, oh, really? I said, I said, is there something going on in the town? That's what I asked. Because sometimes if we have like Americana or, you know, like an
but
art
we had a
festival.
big Morley festival.
Yeah.
That's what was happening, I think, that weekend.
No, that was
Yeah.
the weekend
Oh,
before.
was
It wasn't
the
that,
weekend before,
yeah.
was
But
right.
that was the weekend before. But she went, no, nothing's happening. She said, just these. And she waved the free ticket thing, you know, the free coffee. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, why? And she said, because people seem to think that because they're getting a free coffee,
Yeah.
they can talk to us like dirt, basically. Like we owe them something.
Yeah, like give it me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, really? And I said, I thought it would be the opposite. You know, like you'd go and you'd be so grateful that you were getting a free coffee that you would be kind to the person, the barista behind the counter. And she said, no. She said, that's not always the way. She said they feel as if they've got a right and they demand it. And they're just, some of them, people are just rude, you know? And I just thought, again, I'll just come on and just remind everyone that these people are doing a job.
Yeah. I know, and it's just a job, and it's just to be nice to people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know, just because you got something free, or you know, you're not entitled. It's
No,
like, you know,
no, you're
it's
not.
like just you spent money with them, but again, they're just doing a job. It's not their business.
And me and Brian were talking about this after, and we're going a little bit off topic here now
Yeah.
because we weren't supposed to be talking about this, but actually I've just remembered it. But we were talking about this afterwards, and we talked about it with the kids actually, because I mentioned it to the kids.
Yeah.
And we said, is it because sometimes when you are given something free, it's almost too good to be true that you have this, I don't know, like you're almost scared they're going to go, no, you're not entitled to that.
Yeah, or
you
it's-
can't have that.
You can't have that because it's going to be another pound or another dollar,
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Like, I keep saying pounds. I don't know why I'm saying pounds.
I
all of a sudden. I've said
know,
it
I know.
twice in the and
You live in New Zealand, Brian.
You get so used to saying dollars, and it's when you go back to even to the UK and you say, oh, it's $10, and they look at you as if like, oh, come on, you're English.
So anyway, going back to our story, is just maybe that is it. Maybe it is, you know, times are hard. People have got something free and you almost are like, you are going to give it me, aren't you? You know, I do understand that because, you know, it's like when you get an upgrade sometimes, isn't it, on the plane or, well, not that we ever have, but I'm just trying to think of an example that you get something that you know that you're entitled to. You can go into that situation feeling a little bit bolchy, you know, because you don't want them to turn around and say, oh no, that was last week.
Yeah,
That's what usually happens to
not
us.
Free, you haven't read it right.
Yeah.
You get that next week when you come back for your shop.
Yeah,
Something like
I
that,
know.
isn't it? Like, you know,
So maybe that is. But just to remind you, this woman is doing her job. She's doing her best. She's a lovely, lovely woman. They all are in Pack and Save. They've got the coffee is great. Just be kind and just be patient. We know you're busy and we know that, you know, times are tough, whatever. It's just like, just remember, because after we spoke, me and that lady, I said, listen, you have a great afternoon. And she said, you know what? She said, my daughter's flying in from Australia this evening. She said, we're going to go out together and we're going to have a really nice night.
Some frozen ice cubes.
And I just thought, yeah, exactly. And I just thought, everyone's the same. Everyone is the same. They've got their lives and they just want to just have an easy life. They just
get through the day the best they can. You know,
yeah.
the happiest they can, not the worst they can.
So if this just reminds someone in Pack and Save when you go and get your coffee to just smile and just be prepared to just wait for a while just to have your coffee and hopefully we can spread that kindness. Yeah. Oh, so thank you so much for joining us this week. I think that's it, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, I think that's it. That just about brings us back. You know, I'll tell you about the boat story next time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you're going to be cutting your grass today, aren't you?
I am giving it a go.
Yeah.
Whizzing along.
Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're listening on NZ Ahead over at Spotify, then thank you so much. We really, really love and appreciate you. We hope you like these New Zealand stories. We always appreciate your comments, and just you being here with us just makes us continue and feel loved and so special. And we hope we've brought brightness to your day today, this beautiful day here in New Zealand. So until next time, don't forget my heart beats with yours always. And I will speak to you soon.
Yep. So kia kaha, stay strong. Kia u, stay true. True to yourself, and go and cut the lawns, eh?
And don't forget that smear test. It's important.
See you later.
Okay, bye.
Lots to do. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast this week. We have loved having you here with us.
If you love this week's show, please share this with your friends. Send it to anybody you know that wants to think about moving to New Zealand, and get on over here yourself.
And tell them how brilliant it is as well. And also, if you haven't signed up for our free 5-day video guide showing you what life is like, really like, in New Zealand, then go over to the website and sign up. You are missing out. This is brilliant. Go over to www.nzahead.com/free and we will send you 5 days worth of videos about what life is like in New Zealand. You are going to love it. So one more time, that website that you need to sign up for the free 5-day guide is www.nzahead.com/free. So we're going to see you next week. Until then, have a great week and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, girl. Bye.
Bye.